Gemara in Chulin says that the dust of the fight of Yaakov and the sar shel Esav was swirling, and it went straight up to the Kisei HaKavod. Wow, that's a long way up there. And that, what is the dust? The dust is Yaakov's amel, his effort, his trying, his putting himself out to engage himself in this war against the sar shel Esav. And the sar shel Esav, we said, is none other than the Yetzer Hara. That's the ministering angel of Esav. That's his identity. Yetzer Hara. Yaakov is the one who fights the Yetzer Hara. So now, and the Malach said, you fought with the men, you fought with angels, and you prevailed. Did he prevail? Who won the fight? Chafetz Chaim says that the Malach won. If you look at it in the physical sense, he injured Yaakov. Naga b'kaf Yerecho. What happened after that? Yaakov continued. He didn't give up. And as a matter of fact, the dust that went up, that was so dear to Hashem, even if you'll tell me that Yaakov was the one that won the fight, because the Malach said, let me go. Okay, so maybe you'll say that means that he saying, I give in, let me go. I've got a dentist appointment, and if you don't pay, if you don't go, you have to pay. So I've got to go. So Yaakov, you'll say Yaakov won the fight. Still, this is not the point of the Gemara in Chulin. The Gemara in Chulin says that it was the dust that went up as high as the Kisei HaKavod. That was so dear to Hashem. The fight with the Yetzer Hara, that was what was dear to Hashem, and that was the victory of Yaakov Avinu. And this is the message that Rav Tzvi Meyer says that that Yaakov is teaching us over here. That Yaakov is we are the descendants of Yaakov Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu fought a fight with the Yetzer Hara himself, the sar shel Esav, the entire night, the whole of world history. Ma'aseh Ava Siman Labonim, what happens to the forefathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. This is a sign to the Bonim that this is what's going to happen to them, and this is the fight that we find ourselves in. The Jew finds himself in this fight in this world. The Jew is trying to be a Jew. He's trying to learn Torah. He's trying to do mitzvahs. He's trying to attach himself to spiritual purity and not get tainted by the tumah that's around in the world. And sometimes it may happen that he gets injured, but he's fighting. He's fighting. He doesn't give up the fight. That is so dear to Hashem. That's the dust of Yaakov Avinu. Don't give up the fight. Keep going. Keep persevering. Every time a person comes to even try to do something that's good, Rav Tzvi Meyer says, even if he fails. Even if he fails. He says a person failed to do something 15,000 times. He says, does that mean that he failed 15,000 times? He says it means that he has made an acquisition in Amel 15,000 times to achieve that goal that he's made. And he's on his way. He's on his way. And that itself, that he's done, that is a success. Now, this is Yaakov Avinu. This is who we are. The Pasuk in Eov says, Amel Adam Yulad. What was a person created to do? What was he born to do? What was he born to do in this world? To be Amel. To try, to put to the effort. The effort, that's what he was created to do, the effort. Now, who's Esav? Esav, he has an Einakol that we see in this week's Parsha that gets born. His name is Amalek. Amalek. The eternal foe of the Jewish people. Who is Amalek? Who is Amalek? So Tzvi Meyer says, I don't think you'll find it in Chazal. This is what he says. If you take the word Amalek, there's 4 letters. There's an Aleph, there's an Ayin rather. There's an Ayin, there's a Mem, there's a Lamed, and a Kuf. Now, split the first 3 letters, and you got the word Amel. And the last letter is a Kuf. What does this mean? Says Rav Tzvi Meyer. Esav, what is Esav's essence? Amel. I'll be Amel. I'll try. But there's a condition. The condition is I've got to get a Kuf. What's the gematria of Kuf? What? Kuf. 100. 100. Yeah, not just one. If Rabbi Fairman gets a check for $1, he's not going to be very happy. But if there's 2 zeros after it, that's 100. That's good. That's Esav. Amel, Kuf. You give your checks after the shir. Amel, Kuf. This is Esav. What does that mean? Esav does not value Amel. He doesn't value effort. He values results. Getting 100. That's the result. That's what he values. That's Esav. What happens if he doesn't get a kuf? If he's not going to be able to get a kuf? You don't think he's going to get a kuf? He's not going to be Amel. Because the whole Amel is in order to get a kuf. This is the exact opposite of the Torah Hashkafa. Diametrically opposed. Our pasuk says, Hila Amel Adam Yula. A person was born for Amel. The kuf, the 100, the success, that is bidei shamayim. That is in the hands of heaven. Whether there is success is in the hands of heaven. In Gashmis, for sure that is so. There's not even any necessity for the Amel. And in Ruchnius it's also so. It's bidei shamayim. Success. Oh, success. The essence is Amel. Esav is the opposite. Who won the election? Don't tell me. But what's important? Who won? Who got the gold? Who got the gold medal? Does anybody remember who got the silver medal? Or anybody remember the guy that finished 4th? Does anybody remember him? Maybe he tried more than that. Maybe he exerted himself and was more successful in his attempt to try to succeed than the first 3. Does that matter? That makes no difference whatsoever. The whole thing is to win the World Series, the Super Bowl. That's the only thing that counts. Not the effort. The effort is worthless. This is Esav. This is Esav. When it comes to Avodas Hashem, Yaakov Avinu tells us that the success is the Amel. The success is the Amel. Whenever we come to Tsama Nafshi, according to what I'm saying, whenever we try to come to Tsama Nafshi, even if we don't make it, that's a level of success. If we got there, Baruch Hashem, Chazdi Hashem, the bus got us here. And if we were able to learn something, even more of a success. And another attempt, more attempts, more effort, more Amel. That is Yaakov Avinu. That is intrinsic success. And that's what we have to internalize in ourselves. And this is what keeps us going. Because success, there's nothing that breeds success like success. But what is success? Success is knowing that I'm successful. What's success? Oh no. That's success. The Maisa of Rav Reuven Levitt, the first king of Aseres HaShvatim. Hashem, the Gemara in Sanhedrin says, comes to him and says, Rav Reuven Levitt, do tshuva, and you and Ben Yishai and I will be Matayal Gan Eden. We will stroll together in Gan Eden. That's a very nice threesome to be part of, if I would say so myself. Hashem, Ben Yishai, and Yeravim is included in that trio. So that means that the very least of them got the bronze medal. Now, what does Yeravim ben Levitt taina to Hashem? He says, Mi Barosh. Who's the one, though, that's going to get the gold? Hashem says, that's what you want to know. You want to know who's going to get the kuf, the 100. Kuf also is kof, is a monkey. So Hashem says, now that you've said that, Ben Yishai, he's going to be Barosh. So Rav ben Levitt says, Yihachi lo be'ina. If so, then I'm not interested. And he never did tshuva. And the Gemara and the Mishnah says he's one of the three kings that has no chelik in Olam Haba. Rav ben Levitt. He was that close to being Matayal with Hashem and Ben Yishai in Gan Eden. And he says, if I can't get kuf, then it's not worth the omel. He's got no chelik in Olam Haba. All he had to do was say that he's going to be omel. He's going to go. He's going to be Matayal. No, not interested. Amalek was caught by Amalek, caught by the Yetzer Hara, caught by the Sar Shel Esav. No chelik in Olam Haba. Further on in the parsha, after the victory of Yaakov Avinu, and not throwing in the towel, and not putting up the white flag, he finally meets up with Esav. And what does Esav say to him? He says, Yaakov, my brother, I've Yeshli Rav. I have a Rav. No, that's not what he meant. What does he say? I have?
A lot of money.
I have a lot of money. Yeah. I've got a lot of money. I've got kuf. I've got kuf. 100. Is there more than 100? You can get 200 too. And you know the truth? He says I have Rav. He didn't say but I could use a little bit more also. So he's not satisfied. Yaakov, because everything is the kuf, to get the kuf, and to get then the two kufs. You can get two monkeys. It's better than having one monkey. Yaakov Avinu says, and Yaakov Avinu was trying to give him a present. So he says, Yeshli Rav, I don't need your presents. Yaakov says, Yeshli Kol, I'm not missing. I have everything. What do I need with $1 million? I don't even know what to do with $1 million. I'm giving you this, and he was not Sirlo. He pressed upon him, and he finally took it because he said, "Yeah, actually, to have 110 is better than to have 100. Yeah, okay, I'll take it." Yaakov Avinu Yeshli Kol. This I believe is connected. There's a connection over here because Yaakov is not everything that Yaakov knows that his job is. Omel, the success, the kuf. That's B'dei Shemayim. Whatever Hashem is going to give, that's B'dei Shemayim. Yeshli Kol. I have everything that Hashem gave me. I'm taking care of it. I've got it all. Everything that I need that's what I have. So Yaakov Avinu says, Yesh li kol. I've got my Omel, that's my success. Ish tam yoshev olim. That's Yaakov Avinu. Okay, that's the... So Yaakov goes, and Yaakov, after having met the Sar Shel Esav and Esav himself, it says that Yaakov, Yovo Yaakov Sholem, Yovo Yaakov Sholem, Ir Shechem, Sheva Eretz Canaan, Bavod Mipadan Aram, V'yichan is Pnei Ir. Yaakov came there, Sholem. Gufo Mamono Torosai. Because Yesh li kol. Whatever I have is kol. That's what Hashem gave me, that's kol. Yiken es chelkas hasodeh. Asher nokta sham olo miyad b'nei chamor. He buys a piece of land over there in Shechem for 100 kesitos. Steipel makes a cheshbon that this land that he bought, a sada, is like more or less a sada, like Rav Avinu got a stay Ephraim. He also bought a sada. The Steipel says, but Rav Avinu paid 400 shekel kesef over the socher. He makes a cheshbon that was 80 times the amount that Yaakov paid for over here. Sometimes it's expensive to buy in Eretz Yisrael. Yaakov Avinu, he paid what he paid, but it's not easy to buy in Eretz Yisrael. It's not easy to buy in Eretz Yisrael. But sof, these three places that the Tanakh tells us that Avram Avinu bought Maras Machpelah in Hebron, Yaakov bought a field in Shechem, David HaMelech, the Sefer Shmuel tells us, bought the threshing floor of Aravna Yevusi for Harabayas to which to build the Beis Hamikdash. And these were the three purchases that the Tanakh says. And today they're three are up for grabs. And so just want to tell you a story about Omel, and about at the end of the day the Omel pays off. Oh, one more thing about Omel. The Mishnah in Avos. Hayom Lasoso. Today is for doing, meaning for Omel. Machar lekabel star. Later, tomorrow is the time to get star. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow. Achri Sayomim, Yemos Mashiach, Olam Haba. That's the time for star. Right now is the time to do Omel. But sometimes we see that an Omel that a person does in this world, even after many years, pays off. This is a story about the father of the Boston Rebbe. Boston Rebbe, his father, he took him also, comes to Eretz Yisrael in 1934 to buy a piece of land, because the Rebbe wanted very much his father to try to establish a new yishuv here that would attract Americans to come to Eretz Yisrael. Imagine in 1934 to get Americans to come to Eretz Yisrael. The depression was in 1929. Okay, so this is a very.
It was still depression in '34 too.
And in 1934, it's not too much better. But this was the dream of the father of the Boston Rebbe. Now you can imagine to go buy a property in Eretz Yisrael. Not so easy. First of all, you have to get there. How do you get there? You have to take a boat. Each way is 2 weeks. Then, if you don't drown, you get to Eretz Yisrael. Who's in Eretz Yisrael in 1934? Arabs, marauders, pogroms, discrimination. And who's in charge of that? The British. So either they're looking the other way or they're helping. It's not so easy. So it says that his father had his eye on a large plot of land in Shulfat, near Beit Hanina. And this, of course, was owned by Arabs. So how do you buy property from an Arab in Eretz Yisrael? This is not so easy. First of all, there was a real estate boom going on. There was a lot of buying that was going on. So Jews trying to buy land from Arabs, this one offers this one offers that much. It's not so easy. Furthermore, you have to deal with the Arab landlords. And he says, given the birth rate of the Arabs, which was Kinain Hara, and the Arab system of inheritance, how many Arabs are going to lay up a claim to this piece of land that I'm trying to buy? You're going to buy the land today, and tomorrow there'll be 10 Arabs knocking on your door and saying, you bought my land, what are you doing? So what did he do? He got an eitzah to go to Rav Amram Blau Zatzal, who was known to the Western world as the leader of the Neturei Karta movement. So he also, in addition to that, he worked as a real estate broker, selling, trying to, and he was fluent in Arabic, and he was quite an impressive and formidable individual, and he was able to deal with these Arab landlords. So every day he would show up in his Cadillac, meaning his little donkey, and he would report about what was the prospects of buying this piece of land that the Austrian Rebbe's father wanted to buy. Now the original plot that they were looking into was a large area, and it was broken down into a number of different plots, and each one of them was owned by who knows how many heirs of the heir of the original owner. So you had to get dozens of people to agree before the land could be sold, and it all had to be done very quietly, because there was a lot of competition for the property. Somebody could find out and offer more, and plus it wasn't necessarily so popular in the eyes of Arab extremists at that time for an Arab to sell his land to a Jew. So all this added spice to the story. It says one day, Rabbi Blau shows up at the apartment that they were living in there in Eretz Yisrael with 20 Arabs, and they all camped down in the living room of the Rebbe's house. They were from all parts of I don't know if you call it Eretz Yisrael, it's Eretz Yisrael, the Mandate Palestine, whatever the UN says, and they were going to spend the night over there so that they could finish the deal in the morning. Now, none of them, he says, knew how to write, but that they were able to put their fingerprint on the document, which was perfectly legal in those days. So they all get over there, and they're all ready to sign. And it was quite a scene over there, because every few hours there was another one of the guests that took out his small carpet and hunkered down on the ground and making his davening to 5 times a day. It's a lot. So it was a very Levitic day over there. So father went out to Shulfat, the land that he purchased. He walked completely around the border to accomplish the kinyan, the formal acquisition of the Gemara of Dash Ametzra. And doing that uncontested in the presence of all other people, even Arabs, is, according to halacha, a indication that the land now belongs to the one that did the kinyan Dash Meitzra. And he wanted to do this kinyan. He was very joyous. And now he's going to build Givat Pinchas in this area. What happened? That was 1934. Well, we know that after the Depression, the American real estate market crashed, and the money was not so available. And then there was the Italian-Ethiopian War that broke out, which also discouraged many settlers. And of course, the Arab attacks on Jews in Israel was not decreasing by the day. And then there was World War II that broke out in 19 whatever it was.
45.
39.
So after all of that, the plans, there was not a lot of people that was interested in moving to Yeshivat from America at that point. So it would appear that was not such a good business deal. And father passed away in 1941. Seemingly, all of his amel, all of his efforts, unfulfilled. Where's the schar for all the amel? And then, of course, there was the war that took place over here in Eretz Yisrael. And after the partition in 1947, Yeshivat found itself on the Arab side of the new Medinat Yisrael. So there was no way to reclaim it until the Milchemet Sheshes Yomim, when we got that land back. It was now within the boundaries of Eretz Yisrael. But what happened then? Then the Israeli government seized all of this land from remote until Shmuel Hanavi under the Israeli law of eminent domain. Now, eminent domain requires the government to pay the possessors of that land a fair price, fair market value for the property. Or they wanted the Boston Rebbe wanted the land. So he said, no, what? The government said, if you give your land back, we'll have to give back all the lands to thousands of Arabs. We can't do that. We can't. He was willing to buy the land. No. Then they gave him, he says, minimal compensation, and it was hardly sufficient to relocate at all, whatever they got. So they got a fraction of what it was that they had, and it seemed like it was all over. They tried to intercede on the behalf of the government to get, because they bought property which was conceded to be 90 dunam. Givat Pinchas in Yeshivat was 90 dunam. So give us somewhere else. No, we don't believe in exchanges. So that was it. That was how the land that Rav I think his name was Pinchas David, the father of the Boston Rebbe. That was how his land was liberated in 1967, and his dream was destroyed once more. So that's 1967. Let's move up another 30 or so years, and it's now 1992. And the Boston Rebbe is already living in Har Nof, and he's starting the Bostoner community in Har Nof. And Rav Nachman Porish invited the Boston Rebbe to speak at the inauguration of a new religious neighborhood on the outskirts of Yerushalayim. And it was a large plot of land that had been kept by the government for greenery. I don't know what that means. For many years. And it was now being offered for housing. And the Boston Rebbe was asked to speak. So he didn't know where it was, but he says, okay, you asked me to speak, I'll speak. So they sent a car to pick him up, and he starts driving in the car. And after a while, he's passing Shmuel and Oven, he's passing Remote, and he says, wait a second. This place that I am being asked to speak at the inauguration of the opening of this neighborhood is the very same place that my father in 1934 bought this property. Hashkachas Hashem. The omel of his father seemed to be unrealized, and ultimately it was paid off. That's the new neighborhood, the very successful Baruch Hashem neighborhood in Yerushalayim, Ramat Shlomo.
Where Rabbi Goldberg lives.
Where Rabbi Goldberg lives. That's Omel and that's Hatzlacha. Bezrat Hashem, we should be zocheh to Omel and the ultimate Hatzlacha with Bias Kol Tzedek. Amen. Amen.
Amen.